Hello cyclists, welcome. Today I brought you a fantastic bicycle, the CG600 from Tenways. Okay cyclists, where to start? This bicycle has two things that I found absolutely fantastic. The first is the price, which is really amazing. It costs only 1,400 euros. I know it's an offer at the moment, usually it costs 1,500, but the second thing is it weighs only 15 kilograms, so it feels like a regular bike. Actually, you don't need a motor. And how is it possible? I'll give you some insights to the brand. So Tenways actually produced their first bike in 2021, and it comes from a crowdfunding campaign, a very successful one. And I think what Tenways wants to do is, of course, change our mobility. And to make this possible, if you're interested in riding a very fashionable, very chic e-bike, but you don't want to spend a fortune, then Tenways gives you the possibility to make a first step into this direction, because with the price and some quality components that are really important for the way you move, how you feel when cycling, they combine that. So it's a very interesting mixture of low cost, but quality-wise absolutely okay and compatible e-bike. So as you can hear, I'm enthusiastic. So where to start? Of course, the most important thing when you're looking for an e-bike, you have to ask the following questions. How shall my commute look like? So the sitting position. This one here is rather sportive, but Tenways also offers the CG600, which is the step-through model, which is a more upright sitting position. And the second, of course, is how to charge the bike. So as you can see, it doesn't look like an e-bike. That's of course because the battery is integrated in the down tube. So if you don't have the possibility to charge your bike easily, you should think, is that the right choice for me? Because you cannot take out the battery. But it is super easy, it is super lightweight. So if you can carry it up a couple of stair flights, maybe it could also be a possibility for you. The battery is in the down tube and it has 252 watts. So it gives you a range of between 70 and I think 130 kilometers. Of course, always depending on what modes of assist you choose. I'd say I was charging the bike like 2 or 3 times a week, and I'm just commuting here in the city of Hamburg. Besides the sitting position, super important is of course for an e-bike, the motor, and Tenways to choose my Weiss. And to be honest, I didn't know this manufacturer, so I looked it up. It is an Asian manufacturer of motors for e-bikes, and they operate for more than 2 decades. This motor has 40 Newton meters of torque, which is absolutely okay if you're looking for a bike for the daily commute, and especially it is so lightweight, it's definitely enough to reach easily the 25 allowed kilometers. And what I found very interesting and what I absolutely prefer when choosing an e-bike is a torque sensor. So a torque sensor is when you're pushing the pedal. The more you push the pedal, the more support you get. So it gives you a very natural feeling of cycling. So I don't know actually how they did it, but with this bike and this price, you get a really interesting motor combination. The motor has, of course, the allowed 250 watts. So that's what allowed to reach easily the 25 kilometers that are allowed in the EU. In the US, of course, it's a bit more. I think it's 30 kilometers. Tenways offers you 3 different modes of assist. And actually, I was always choosing most of the time the first one, which was totally okay for me. And even when you're riding up hills, it feels very easy and natural. And of course, you can choose a higher mode of support. And what Tenways also offers is a little mode of support when you're just pushing your bike. So you're walking next to it and you're just maybe having a phone call or whatever. You have a support of up to 6 kilometers per hour. This bike, of course, it's an aluminum frame, so it's super lightweight, but it's also very stiff. So when you're riding over cobblestone, you will feel it. That's just the way it is when you're riding in urban surroundings and you have a very sportive commuter bike. You don't have any suspension. Also, when you have a closer look at the tires, they're very slim, which is very nice. It's very agile. But you feel when you're riding over bumpers or cobblestone. Tenways did choose a Gates carbon belt drive, and as you probably know by now, I'm a big fan of belt drives. Why? Because they last much longer than a regular chain, up to 30,000 kilometers, and you don't have to take care of it all. No oil, no grease, it is super silent, and it's a different way of feeling when you're pushing the pedal. So I really love it. Thanks a lot, Tenways, for choosing a belt drive. Tenways is offering only single-speed bikes, which is totally okay, because in combination with the torque sensor, I wasn't missing any changing of gears at all. As important as riding a very sportive and agile bike is, of course, when you do have to stop. And Tenways did choose hydraulic disc brakes from Tektro. I thought they were absolutely okay. They reacted pretty well. I was stopping quite easily. Sometimes I had the feeling there could be a little bit more, but I never felt insecure in no situation at all. As important as stopping is, of course, being seen. So with this little remote at the handlebar, you can not only choose the different modes of assist and see important information, but you also switch on the light. So the light in the front is connected to the battery, but in the back, and I think that's one of the reasons why the bike is so affordable, is that you do have a USB light. So you have to always see that it's charged properly to, of course, fulfill all the regulations and, of course, to be seen. Also very important for your daily commute are fenders. If you're seriously into cycling and commuting, you want to ride your bike no matter how the weather conditions are. And Tenways offers fenders as well, very important to many cyclists, a bike stand. And of course, you can, I didn't choose it, but you can have a rack in the back. And Tenways also offers different accessories like a backpack and a bag that you can easily fit to the rear rack. Also very important, all the parts and accessories. So I will guide you through. Very important for your security are the reflectors that are necessary in the U for your security. And here you have reflective tires, which is for me, to be honest, design-wise, the most interesting option. Also, and thank you Tenways, I really love the platform pedals, because I don't know why there's so many manufacturers that have great bikes and then they put on these really ugly and super cheap looking pedals, but not with this bike. Platform pedals that are not only beautiful to look at, but they also perform very well. So you don't slip at all, even when you have to stop abruptly. And it comes with a bell. It's a nice noise. I would say there are maybe, if you have a closer look, I would prefer probably, but it's just a very individual decision, look for another bell because yeah, the sound is okay, but I think it's not so loud and it doesn't last that long. The only thing that I didn't like so much, but that's of course very individual, is when you have a closer look at the cockpit, because there are, even though it is a single speed, a lot of cables, but they go inside the frame, so there is internal cable routing where I give my thumbs up again. But I thought that the whole situation here in the front was not super 100%. Maybe also one reason why the bike is so affordable, it comes rather compact to you. So you can only order it online and you have to assemble it, or you bring it to a bike shop and ask if they can assemble it for you. And that was an absolute positive surprise for me, because I'd say I'd rather know what to do when a bike comes not assembled. But even if you're not so much into the product bicycle, it is a very nice experience to assemble this bike, because there comes an extra box with everything you need to fix the front wheel, to put it in the right place, to see how you install the brakes. So it was really, really easy, and it was design-wise, and for me as a customer, a very nice experience. And there's also in the app a video that explains how to assemble the bicycle. And speaking about the app is absolutely everything you're looking for, because you have all the real-time data about your cycles, there are all the FAQs you have, and of course, if you do have problems with the bike, you can easily contact the service. And I had problems in the beginning to register my bike, but there was just one email, and after a couple of minutes I got a response and the problem was fixed at all. On the handlebar there is the little remote that gives you all the information necessary you need, so how fast you are, the range you still have concerning the battery, and the different modes of support. And before you start cycling, you have to enter a password. So that is like a little security something. But to be honest, really honest, actually you don't need the motor because the bike is so lightweight, and they did choose the single speed very well. But of course you want your motor and your assistance, so you have to enter a password. Talking about design and individual choices, Tenways offers different color options. So I did choose the light gray. I thought it was very friendly, but also very chic. But check out the homepage, there are more color options, very classy ones and a bit more fancy. And you do have 2 different frame sizes. So I'm 174 centimeters. So for me, the size medium was perfect. But if you are 180 centimeters and taller, up to 2 meters, the size L would fit. And to be honest, especially here in the north, people are larger. So I always appreciate if bike manufacturers offer models that are really for perfect fit for tall people. And I'm going to take this baby here now for a test ride and give you my conclusion afterwards. So cyclists, this bike is a really interesting choice, because I think when you're riding it, it's super agile. Due to the torque sensor, it feels very natural. It is an agile bike, and people are even looking at you and your bike because it is design-wise also very interesting, because it doesn't look like an e-bike. You do have the Gates carbon belt drive, and it is really a very reliable option. So you don't have to take care of your bike at all. And the price with 1,400 or 1,500 euros is really interesting. So I'm super happy that the crowdfunding did work out, and I keep my fingers crossed, Tenways, that you find many more happy customers. So go for it. If you're looking for an affordable e-bike that has many nice features, thumbs up.